Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live show.
Big announcement night.
Woo-hoo! We've been building it up for weeks.
We've been sitting on pins and needles for a
I sure
long
hope it's
time.
not a letdown.
No, letdown. Are you kidding me?
Maybe we built
Super
it up
excited.
a little too much.
Yeah, we've been building it up for a while. So I mean, if you're part of the private group and whatnot, we've both been kind of in and out of town with some family stuff. So yeah, we were trying to kind of get this going a little earlier in the year, and just like everything else, life gets in the way sometimes, and you have to back burner some things. So this is kind of what's been getting back burnered, and yeah,
Yeah.
we were really looking forward to kind of doing it closer to the beginning of the year, but it is what it is.
Well, we're really busy on our meal plan. As our meal planners know, Phil and I cook all the time and we cook lots of the meals. We also have a recipe developer who works with us as well. But we like to cook our family traditional meals. So we're kind of on a roll with that. And we're just cooking all the time, and it's just the two of us, tiny little company. So we're already doing a lot. So we wanted to make sure that before we added another thing to our plate that we could do it because we're excited about it and we want it to be seamless and well. Anyway, let's announce it.
All right, go ahead.
Let's pull up a little slide.
Oh, you want to share now?
Yeah, let's share it.
This isn't a big professional production here because I have a couple of things.
I should be editing this, but we are live, so.
All righty. I was
All
gonna
right.
do a drum roll, but I can't.
Do a drum roll. Do a drum roll.
Yeah.
I'll do a drum roll.
Ready?
Ready? The
Dun, dun, dun,
SmartyPlants
dun.
podcast. Dun, 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 dun. I can hear you guys. I really can. Everybody's like jumping out of their chairs. Yay! We get to hear from Phil and Judy every week. Yay! We got a yay! We got a yay! We got a yay!
Yeah. So we thought anyone that
Kim.
watches
Hi, Kim.
anyone that watches these know that we like to talk. I know we always a
We
lot of the
sure do.
a lot of the Friday shows start with we're going to keep this short, and then it goes on for an hour.
We just figured we talk so much and it became so much fun for us because we're just like hanging out, having conversations, and we have a lot to say. And so our little live show on Fridays kept getting longer and longer. And we're like, okay, this time we started making jokes about it. Like you said, we'll keep. That was Amelia, our resident baker.
I'm trying to mouse over my notes here.
Those teeth. Yeah, so we just decided, hey, this is a great medium to really reach a lot of people. So we can expand. We're struggling to try to get our live show out to different platforms right now. What are we on? We're on Facebook or on Twitter, I think. Twitch.
Two on Facebook. So our private group, our business page, the YouTube channel, Twitter, and Twitch.
Yeah. So, we thought, wow, if we do a podcast, we can really reach a lot of people. And, hopefully people will subscribe to it and share it. And then we could maybe get on other podcasts. And, there's a way to really reach a lot of people. Our plan is to have guests on our podcast. So we already have recorded 10 of these. So we've been doing this for a while. So, we plan on having guests, which we have a couple of great ones. We have my friend Armando. We're going to have people who have healed their bodies with plants. Armando, I hope you're listening, but he has an amazing story. Amazing. He had major heart issues, was supposed to have open heart surgery, decided against it, and completely healed his body. And now he's running marathons. And he's one of our members. He's on all the time. You guys might have seen him. But anyway, he's one of our guests. He was one of our first guests. And, just people like you guys, we want to hear your stories. Whoever has a story, let us know. Come on our podcast. We want to make this fun. interactional. Is that a word? Interactive. But like personally for me, this is a really big reason why I told my story. Oh, well, on the podcast, I told my story. So episode 1, Phil and I kind of tell our backstories, and why I wanted to do this whole website anyway was to reach people and really like get to know people and really help people who need the help. So like there's so many people that I hear that are just lost and don't really know anything about this lifestyle. They don't know the power of plants. And just to get it out there, just so people really know, we want to talk to so many different people, like doctors, experts, just people who have started restaurants like in our neighborhood. Why do you care? Let's hear your reasons. Let's hear your why. Because when you get a why, then you really have a reason why you want to do this. It's not a diet. And if you know anything about this lifestyle, it's health, the planet, and the animals. And there's so many whys. So we're gonna get really into it, but also have fun, because we just want it to be like we're hanging out, we're having fun. So yeah, exciting.
It's a pretty broad spectrum of things that we want to cover. There's no kind of set, hey, we're going to have a guest, it's going to do this, we're going to go into that. It's going to be kind of open and free flowing. And right, we kind of want to be all over the board. We want to also just take suggestions if people have, if you know people, if if there's topics in the news that are happening. I mean, there's a lot going on in the plant-based world. So it'll be
Right.
fun to kind of just, kind of roll with what's happening at the time. And then have some guests on, have some doctors on, have some kind of important people in the industry hopefully on as well. So it should be fun. I mean, it should be a lot of fun, just getting to do this.
Because I like hearing from experts. I've interviewed from different jobs that I've had before SmartyPlants. I have interviewed some of these plant-based doctors. And if anybody knows or listens to Rich Roll, I interviewed him. He's just this amazing ultra Ironman, whatever his title, ultra athlete. And he's a lawyer, and he was like, I don't know, his health was going downhill. This is years ago. And he just changed his whole life around. And he ran like 5 Ironmans on 5 different Hawaiian islands or something like that. Like, this guy is amazing. And he's a big promoter of plant-based, and he's all plant-based. So it's like, people who say, well, you can't eat that way and run marathons. He's like a Ironman a day for 5 days. Like, this guy's amazing. And he's got a great podcast. And right when I first started in this lifestyle, I started listening to him because he was so inspirational to me. And then I got to interview him one day live right in front of me. I asked him a bunch of questions. I had my notes, and I just went right off topic, because I was like, what was it like to run how could you do that? It's like, it was just really fun. So we're hoping to get some guests like that who are like super inspirational that you guys can hear from, that you may not know, are out there. Anyway, that's our plan. And like I said, we already have a bunch recorded, and we're going to be putting them out every Tuesday. So a week from today will be our first one. And is it just on iTunes right now, our little intro?
Yeah, on Apple. So we
Apple.
uploaded the intro. So we're going to try and get it on other platforms, but I just got the Apple one working for now, and everything's set. So it is out there. If you go to Apple, you go to iTunes and search. You can just search SmartyPlants, and you should see that picture pop up. You can just hit the little plus sign up at the top. It just says, what does it say? Follow. They just changed it, I noticed.
Follow us. Yeah, it doesn't actually say subscribe. It says follow us. So if you follow us, then you're like subscribing, and it's noted on iTunes, so they'll know, because that really matters. I know all the podcasts I listen to, they're like, subscribe, because it really helps us. Now I kind of get it. Like, I do subscribe to mine, the people that I listen to. But like, I do get it. It really helps you, and it helps promote your podcast and get you searchable faster. When people search plant-based, will pop up maybe. I'm not sure how it works, but it does help a lot, I hear.
So everyone here. So yeah, I mean, not only that, but it helps support what we're doing here. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're not familiar with podcasts, and to be honest, I wasn't until just a couple of years ago. My boss at the time just said, like, hey, because I was driving into Chicago to work, and he said, hey, what podcast do you listen to? And I'm like, I don't even think I have podcasts. Like, where do I get them? What do I do? I really wasn't familiar with it at
I
all.
know. When you don't know, it seems like another world. It's like,
I
what's
know.
a podcast now?
So he was like, well, he's like, what, you got an iPhone? I'm like, yeah. He's like, here, let me see it. He punched it up. He's like, what are you interested in? So I rattled off some topics and he just downloaded a bunch of shows. He's like, here, just whatever you want to do. And it was like, as soon as I think, whatever, as soon as he showed me, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then I was locked in. I was listening to hours and hours of podcasts.
Because you can search whatever you're interested in. And like I said, when I first started in this lifestyle, I was so interested in learning everything I can. So I was, I listened to Colleen Patrick Gaudreau, a vegan podcaster. I listened to Rich Roll. Like I said, I listened to Ordinary Vegan. I was just listening to everything I could. And I loved that I could just plug in and go. Because I'm not a big, I don't really enjoy sitting and watching videos for a long time. I mean, movies are one thing, but I don't know. I wouldn't, you don't need to see us when we're just talking, And so with the podcast, I could cook and clean and go on road trips. And I just like to plug in my earbuds and listen and learn and, be entertained. So personally, that's what I like about them. But that's funny because Cassandra, my friend years ago, that's same with me. She was like, she said something about she got in bed and she was listening to a podcast. And I was like, what does that mean? I do remember that. I couldn't figure out what she was talking about. I was like, now what is that all about? So if you don't know, just check it out. Like Phil said, there's no cost. You just hit follow us and you'll do us an immense favor and by supporting us that way. And you don't even have to listen. No, we want you to listen. But you don't have to listen every week. But that one little thing will support us. We hope you listen.
In the end, that's what it is. I mean, there are a bunch of shows I follow, and then after a while, if I'm not listening, I go through and I delete them off my phone or on my iPad or whatever. But it's recording that I am downloading those shows to support whoever that is. So if it's someone, there's a few sources that I listen to that I just want to help support it, whether I'm listening weekly or daily or whatever the show is. I'm just showing the support of doing it as well. So
I'm just reading some of the comments. Susan Bristol says Doug Evans, the Sprout guy, would be great. See, Susan, I love that. I don't know the Sprout guy. I love sprouts though. I love it. We're going to take all these notes. Let's see. Doug Evans is fun to listen to. I don't know Doug Evans, but Kim said that. So I'm going to go write that down and find it. Rip Esselstyn. Yeah, I love Rip Esselstyn. I love all of them. Jane and what's the mom's name? Well, I love Dr. Esselstyn Caldwell, and I interviewed him too. He's the best. Essie. I love him. Yeah, I got to interview him in person, and he was just awesome. He did his whole Brussels, broccoli, asparagus, that whole thing he rattles off. Awesome. Yeah, Jane Esselstyn. Anne and Jane. Love them. And she's so cute. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome if we could get them on our podcast, those Esselstyns. Oh,
no, they're not.
Okay.
So you don't need an Apple product to download the Apple podcast, do you? Or do you? I guess I don't know. You don't need like an iPhone or an iPad to go to Apple Podcasts, do you? Or no? I guess I don't know how that works.
I'm not sure because it's on I have an Apple computer, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So before next week, so what I'm going to do is I'll make a post. So before next week, I'm hoping to get it on a few other podcast platforms as well. So I'll put that out there, whatever it is. So just watch the private group for the updates and stuff. We'll definitely get. I looked into it before when we were doing it, and then this week, as I was trying to get the Apple one going, it just took a little longer than I thought. Again, I am the tech support, so I was just trying to figure it out.
You are the SmartyPlants tech support.
We had to have the little. There is a short 1 minute intro that's up right now. So if you do subscribe right now, you can listen to that. The little intro.
No. Oh, sorry. I'm reading the. Jolie said, wait, is it only available through iPhones? I have a Droid. No, we're going to try to get it on multiple platforms. So you don't need Apple. I mean, there's a bunch of them, right? Like, what are they? Spotify. And I'm not sure because I have Apple too. But yeah, we'll get them on all of them that we can get them on. So everybody can listen to them, not just Apple. But yeah, Kim said, oh, Judy, love his jingle. I love him too. I know. He's so cute when he does it. He's got it down. And then let's see. I just want to read everybody's. Yeah. Yeah. Susan said my cardiologist has a podcast. He goes through all the latest research. I love that. Maybe we can get him on. Oh, speaking of cardiologist, I also listen to Dr. Jamie Delaney. Does anyone listen to that one? She's awesome. I've been listening to her for years. She's also a runner. She calls herself a triathlon. No, is she a triathlon? Ultra. I don't know. I can't remember, but she's a big runner. She's into sports, and South Florida cardiologist who has her own podcast. She has a book, her and her mother and her daughter, and she's awesome. So it's just kind of fun. I'm sure Jamie Delaney would come on our podcast. Anyway, we would love for you guys to give us these ideas in the, wherever, email us, DM us, just in the private group. Yeah, we have a list going. So we want to make it exciting, and we want to talk to people you guys want to hear from, for the latest research, like the cardiologist. Dr. Joel Kahn, I know of him. Yep. He's a good one. I saw him at a conference. He's a really nice guy too.
So this is also the reason we kind of cut the Friday live show down into the meal plan review, because we're planning, we didn't want to kind of, I wouldn't say waste content on that, because we were already doing on the show, but we started to kind of overlapping and talking about some stuff that we wanted to save for the podcasts as well. So the Friday live show is really just a review of the meal plan that we released that day, and then the podcast will be kind of everything else plant-based. So we were kind of just wanting to cut that down. So initially when we did that, that's when we were going to launch the podcast. It was a few weeks ago when we kind of moved that over. But so if you are a meal planner, you can still catch that on Fridays. We're still going to do that. It'll post to all the medium, all the platforms. So
Kim found us in the podcast. Right. Listen to our intro. See what you think of our intro. We tried to make it exciting. I hope it's enticing. We want people to say, "Hey, we're gonna listen to this too."
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to really get started. Like she said, we have a couple of in the can already, and there's some fun shows. We just have a bunch of kind of fun ideas to do, and things like tips and tricks, and we have like just funny stories of things that happen to us, the struggles that we have. So just a lot of back and forth between Jude and I, but we have some interviews already, and looking forward to getting this all going. Super exciting. So the first show will drop on Tuesday, a week from today. So we're going to have a little giveaway between now and then as well. So we'll get to the giveaways for tonight. So what we're going to do is, so anyone that kind of follows us in the private group, we've been talking about the Butler soy curls lately. I had contacted Dan from Butler, and they had sent me a big box of products. So we're going to give those away today. What we wanted to do is kind of reward people that are kind of involved in what we're doing. So when we were talking, I said, why don't we give it away to our best interactive people in our private Facebook group? So what I did is I went to the Facebook page, and it tells you who your most popular posters are in your private group. So we decided to give it away to the top 3, and I'm sure they probably already know who they are now that I'm saying it. But we'll go through it. So
we just want to share the love that you guys give us, because we really, really, really appreciate every time you post your food photos and talk about our food that you just made. You inspire all of us. You inspire Phil and I. Like, we're making the food too. And it's just like, it really, really matters. And it really shows off our food. And Phil and I could talk about how good our food is till we're blue in the face. But when you guys are showing up and posting your photos, and I know that's an effort. I take photos of our food on our site, and it's challenging. And your photos are beautiful and they look delicious. And you take the time. Your food is like dying in the window, and you're taking pictures of it. Like, I love that. I mean, I love that you take the time, and we really appreciate it. So that's kind of why we didn't want to just do a random drawing. We wanted to really show our gratitude to our top posters.
So we'll just go through real quick. So Butler sent us soy curls. So if you're not familiar with soy curls, these are the new. Well, they have a new packaging now. This is the new package.
So Butler's a company in Oregon, and those are all organic. It's just soybeans. There's nothing added. They're just the soybean that they break it down, and then they make these little strips, soy curls, and then they dehydrate them so they can be packaged and you could keep them in your pantry, which is so nice. And so they're just organic soy. And we use them in all sorts of ways. Phil and I always say in our meal plan, we don't want to rely too heavily on soy curls because, not everyone wants soy all the time. I mean, not for, well, we'll get into this in the podcast. We don't believe there's anything wrong with it. It's just like, you don't want to have, tacos every night. It's that kind of thing. Like, we don't want it all the time, but we love them and they're so versatile. And I feel like they're good for you. And, so we want people to try them and experiment with them. And I think all of our meal planners who are winning the soy curls have used them. We've seen all their recipes. So this is in support of that as well. But anyway, it's a great company. They gave these to us.
So the second one is the Taco Mild Chipotle Taco TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. It's like a crumble. They've sent me a free one before that I tried. It was pretty good. I would say when you make these, I wouldn't make the whole thing. This makes a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, I could probably feed like 8 or 9 people for sure. And then they also sent us some of that jerky, which is really good, man.
It's soy jerky.
Yeah, it's the soy.
Never had that
in jerky form, but I wish I could open them up and taste
Don't open that.
They sent me one of these as well free when I ordered a bulk. They are really a great company. It's a small company. I do love supporting small businesses, but yeah, they're great. They're awesome. So the top 3 posters. So the top 1 poster, of course, is Mary Stewart. Awesome job, Mary. We appreciate everything. Mary is always on there. She's always liking our stuff. She's always posting food photos and commenting and welcoming people.
Mary is like, she should be an employee. We should pay her because she is like an employee. She's posting and her photos are beautiful. And she already gave me the green light to use her photos because some of her photos are better than ours. So I am going to take her up. When I have a spare minute, I might go in and grab some of her photos. Yeah, she's awesome. And I really wish I could meet Mary. Maybe she'll be on the podcast someday if she wants to. But yeah, any of you guys too, just speak up. We'll have you on. But yeah, so Mary, just congratulations.
So Mary,
no pressure to cook with them. You could just use them at your leisure.
As the number 1 poster, you're going to get all 3 products.
Woo, Mary!
Coming in at number 2 is Kim Kinney Keenan. Awesome job, Kim. Appreciate all you've done. For second place, you're going to get 2 products. You're getting, let's see, I got the TVP and the soy curls.
Kim is another awesome poster. She makes so much of our food and posts all the time. And
it's been around almost since, I believe, the beginning, like right when we started. I believe you're one of the first people that were on, I think, if I recall. Yes, joined. I'm just looking now. Joined over a year ago. So yeah,
we really appreciate it, Kim. Every post, I really appreciate. I hope it comes across to you because it really means a lot to me. I know it takes time, and your posts are awesome. Your food, I mean, your hubby's in on it. It's like so fun. It's so fun to watch and to see, and it's so fun to see the food that we create bringing other people joy. I mean, really, it is. It's exciting. It's awesome. So.
And number 3, relatively new. Well, I guess Mary. And number 3 is Becky Walsh. Awesome.
Becky Walsh.
Came on. Becky will get the jerky and the soy curls as well.
Becky is another awesome poster. She is just so inspirational too with her posts. She kind of makes her own things with the components too, I noticed. And very, very, very thankful.
So what Facebook does is they take into account how much you post, how much you like things, how much you interact, and kind of gives you a score based on all those things. So it's not just the person who's posting the most photos or commenting the most. It's kind of an amalgamation, is that right, of all those things together. So we appreciate all that interaction. We definitely wanted to do something special for the top people that are doing it. If they had sent me more products, we would have had a top 5 or a top 10.
Yeah, trust me, we will. If we get this podcast going and we get some sponsors, we are going to be doing a lot of these giveaways because this is a fun stuff. We like doing this. We want to support you just as much as you support us. Not to mention, our meal planners are supporting us. You're supporting us by subscribing to our meal plan. And that's kind of what keeps us going. You know, we it's huge for us. And we're hoping that that's what the podcast is going to turn into too. So we could just keep going and spreading the message.
So, and that's why that support is huge. I mean, especially with the podcast, just subscribing to it. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. If you're just watching us or hanging out, if you haven't joined the meal plans, that's fine. If you're just in to learn more, that's great.
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing me come back. No, maybe not. So yeah, all you have to do is subscribe, and you're supporting us that way. We appreciate that as well. But those top three, we also want to show, hey, the more you interact with us, the more chances you have you might win something, down the road, or even maybe tonight with more games.
You never know.
So what we're also going to do is we're also going to give away your choice of either the free month of the weekly meal plan or the 28-day kickstart. So if you're watching on any of the platforms right now, if you just if you want to type in, what did I write there? Oh, just type in I'm watching live wherever you are. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, any of the groups, Twitter, Twitch, just type in I'm watching live. And anyone who types that in while the show's going on, we're going to go back. I'll have to do it tomorrow. I can't do it live here, but I'll go back and gather those up and then post the winners of who won those. And then I'll just contact you via the platform that you're on.
Yeah, and you'll get a month of, going through the food, looking at all the things you might have been seeing in the private Facebook group. I know I've had people say to me, gosh, I want to join the meal plan. It's sad to me that they're like, I just can't right now in my budget. I get it. But it's people that really, really want to, so this is your chance. You can come in and get that jalapeno lime crema recipe and pepper jack cheese, anything. Our meal plan is open for a month. So come in and make some great food. That's the beauty of it. We always have more coming every week. And that's the exciting part. Phil and I are trying to get to the point where, we can just kind of we're kind of there now, but right now it's just the two of us. It would be awesome if we had help, some more help so we can kind of, just make the things that we want to, experiment a little bit, Right now it's a little bit of a struggle, but we're doing it. We're doing it, the two of us.
So again, type I'm watching live.
Oh, okay.
You get a chance to win. I'll leave that up for a few minutes.
I see it. I'm watching live. I'm watching. Yay, Maria. She's watching live. Ginny's watching live.
Type it in the chat wherever you're watching this. Just type it in the chat. As long as it's happening while the show's going on live, not the recorded. I mean, I appreciate people watching the recorded. We want to again give people who are here supporting us live a chance to win. If you're not familiar with what we do, if you're just stumbling across this, or if you're coming from my personal page or anything like that, so we have two meal plans. We have a 28-day kickstart, which is kind of to get people started in this. It gives you the grocery list, it gives you the recipes, everything you need for 28 days of eating this way. Great support. You get lessons every day. That's one plan. And then we have a weekly meal plan, which is kind of for the people who have the basics down, and then they want the new recipes each week. They want access to our full database of 400 plus recipes and the ability to create your own meal plan. It'll dynamically generate a grocery list for you for the meals that you pick. And again, help get you or help keep you on track with making all these great meals. Every Friday, we release at least 3. We've been known to release as many as, I believe, 11. We did on the Thanksgiving episode.
We get a little excited.
And then typically we'll add like some of the components of those, whether it be sauces or dressings or a new crumble or whatever it is. We're adding all those components. So you could then go back and use those things to build your own meals or create your own things as well. But There's so many great recipes on there. And we always talk about that, where it's like, man, there was just some great stuff, that we haven't made in so long, just because we're always cooking new stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of great meals on there.
And that's the feedback we get. People really love the food. If it was just average, Phil and I would reassess what we're doing here. It's like, well, we have an average product. We feel like we have a diamond product. our food it speaks for itself. Everybody says it. I mean, I'm not saying every meal is 100%, knock it out of the park, but I would say a lot of them are. I mean, we got this
99%.
down. I know we got this down, and people are really loving it. And I feel like we have this little diamond that nobody really knows we're here. That's the part that frustrates me, because I want so many more people to know about this, that you can eat this way and love this food. I mean, honestly, Frank and he was just here a second ago. We sit and eat. After I'm making new meals, and we sit and we eat them, and we're both like dumbfounded, like, this is just so good. Like, I can't believe we eat like this. I mean, it's exciting, and I want other people to feel the excitement and just learn how to cook this way. Our meal planners are getting it. They're using the different components. They're coming up with their own things. That's it. That's it. And I had an epiphany the other day, which I don't know why I didn't really realize the value of the meal planner, because I rely on that so much. But I know it's my food, our food, but that's how I cook. I don't really cook anything else. I cook all of our food, whether it's a component, whatever it is. And I don't have all the recipes up here. So I have my laptop every night, no matter what I'm cooking. I search. So that search function, I just made a post today. Don't forget, meal planners. If you want tacos, just search tacos. 20 will pop up. It's like if I took the meal planner away, if someone took it away from me tomorrow, I would be lost. I wouldn't know what was I cooking. I don't print them out. So I was like, that is so valuable. That is so nice to open my laptop. I have all my favorites saved, and I just type in, tortillas, chips, whatever, baked crispy chips. They pop up. It's like hummus. I don't know the measurements. I can't remember. Hummus, our favorite hummus pops up. It's really invaluable to me. So I hope our meal planners feel that way.
Well, it's funny because, and I've mentioned this before, like I used to print these all out. So I would print them out, and I literally have a drawer, and it just has a stack, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to make the crumbles. And so I print those crumbles. And now I have paper, and there's stains on it. I had a couple recipes that I had just made, from other people. We've never put them on the site, but I still make them. Like, my daughter's always so grossed out because she's like, "Oh, that."
No, I'm not touching that sheet.
I'm like, "Oop, 1,000,001." But yeah, but it is, and it's just like, man, if that was on the site. And one of the things that we wanted to do that we never got around to was the ability to, and we will, someday we have. I mean, there's a list of things that we want to do that's a mile long. But one of the things was to add your own recipe. So if you did have an outside recipe you wanted to add, you can add it to your own list of things, so you can kind of create your own cookbook online, even if it's not our stuff. But that was one of the things I'm like, man, I wish we had that feature right now, because I would just add those in, myself. But either way, it is super helpful. I do the same thing. I have my iPad. My wife bought this little easel, so I can pop my iPad on an easel, and it leans back slightly, and I can
that's nice.
Whatever I need. So I use it constantly.
I was just reading some of the comments. I just wanted to say that Jolie's watching live. Kim said, "You gifted me with your meal plan a year ago, and I so appreciate it. It's more than worth what I pay for the meal plan. You give us so much." Oh, I love that, Kim. The 28. Susan said the 28-day kickstart is wonderful. It's the best meal planner that I've looked at. Oh, I think it was when you started a year ago. It just kept up with it because it's also amazing. Yes. Someone said, no, every recipe is amazing.
And really, I mean, when we started this, I mean, that was kind of the main point that, and Judy had joined some other meal plans. She had been researching it.
Forks over knives.
And kind of what was out there that was lacking was kind of that love of food, and again, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything like that, but there's other plans out there, certainly. And she's like, it's very like corporate. It's like, it seems like they just bought recipes and just throw them up, and it's just kind of bland. She's like,
I love forks over knives. That's, if anyone knows my story, that's why I'm here. I watched that documentary and I was done. I was like, I need to do this lifestyle. So I love that company. Speaking again, I know the guy who did that documentary. I met him at one of these conferences that I go to, plant-based conferences, and he's awesome. So I do love that company. I buy their magazines. I think they're amazing. I just didn't love the meal plan because what Phil just said, it didn't feel, it felt a little impersonal to me. It just felt like a company. I don't know. I didn't get And so I took what I liked from that. I liked how it was interactive and you could pick and choose and swap your meals like you could do with ours. So I took that from them, and that's what we added. We tried to make something that we wanted to do different. We didn't want ours to be so what's the word? Like impersonal.
Sterile.
Yeah, sterile. Like that's kind of how I felt. It's like there was nobody cheering me on over there, I don't know. That's all.
Well,
I do love that company though.
And part of this too is just the interaction with people. I mean, Judy and I get offline and we're talking about you guys sometimes. It's like, oh, do you see what Kim posted? Do you see Mary? You see, Kim's husband was eating this. Can you believe? It's like whatever it is. It's like, oh my God, now we're involved and we really don't know.
We do. That's what we want to do. I mean, hey, someday we hope to do retreats. We talked about that too. That would be awesome. Like eating our way through plant-based Italy, wouldn't that be fun? And then we could meet our meal planner. Sure would be fun. Oh, that's a far off dream.
But still, this is where, the idea is we're trying to kind of build. So we started with the meal plans. Now we're launching the podcast. We had a lot and we don't want to give anything away. There's definitely more to come, but it's always trying to get to that next level and having time and people, involved in doing this. There's just the two of
us. So hopefully we'll be able to add more people and just to help us out with even with social media help, things like that. So we can keep on growing and expanding. And the podcast
is exciting. If you are part of this and you're interacting and stuff, tell people, go to other Facebook groups, mention us, post there's you can go to the website and post free recipes all over. Any of the free stuff you can post. If you see people talking about, something and asking for recipes and that we have a free recipe, post the recipe. That'd be great. Helping spread the word about the podcast. I mean, we definitely can use all the help we can get to get the word out there for all this stuff. So.
Yeah. Robert just said, I'm watching live. Where are the men?
Right there. What is this?
You and Phil, Robert. There's our man.
My man.
This is watching live. Ginny said, maybe you are our token guy.
So if you do want more just info on the 28-day kickstart, it's not clickable, unfortunately. I don't know how to make links in here. You can't make links.
Maybe not.
You can just go to smartyplants.org/28-day kickstart for some more information. You can pause this video if you're watching on the repeat. And then here's the meal plan if you want. So you can just read about it. You can see some pictures of the food. You can understand what the plans are and what you get. If you have questions, you can always come into our private Facebook group and ask anything you want. We're always on there answering questions and interacting.
And give our podcast a few listens. Just give it a try. If you don't know anything about this lifestyle, just give it a try, because we really are going to go into our personal stories, why we got started in this lifestyle, and also just all, about it, just so you can learn about it. I just want people to maybe give it a chance. So you might get the bug, you might have a little kernel or nugget of interest. And the more you learn and the more you listen, you'll learn about it, and it might pull you in a little bit more. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it sparks a little interest and people get drawn in because they like us. And they actually like what they're hearing, and they're like, oh wow, I never knew that before. I never thought about that before. I didn't realize this was so powerful.
Or if you know someone that's struggling, they have high blood pressure, they have a weight issue, they have some, a heart problem, something, that, and again, I look at it like I was on that path. I was on a path to an early heart attack and, high blood pressure, weight gain, the whole thing. I still
talked about that in the podcast. No,
Episode
1. I'll tell you all about it.
That's just it. If you know somebody, reach out, help spread the word. I mean, we'd love to even follow someone through their story, follow them on their journey and have them become involved in this. We'd love to have someone like that.
That's one thing I'm trying to figure out, going back to how I want to help people. It's not exactly coaching, but it's following them, giving them a meal plan, showing them how to do this, following them through their journey, and interviewing them as they go and watching them come back to health.
Well, that was one of the big things in What the Health that kind of struck me. That one lady that was on 20 medications or whatever, and she could barely walk. And then in the end, she was down to I don't think she was on none, but I think she was down to like 2 or something very, I haven't watched it now for a long time, but yeah, I was like, wow, like that was very dramatic for me to kind of see that, right when I started. Because I remember you saying, like, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this when you start. So I did.
That's Armando's story. I mean, my gosh, it's just crazy what he did with his health. And he's going strong. I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's running marathons and he looks amazing and he's happy. It's like, whoa, so powerful.
So what we're also going to do is so if you have a chance of winning now, again, if you're watching live, you can type in "I'm watching live." I'll go back around to all the platforms and just make sure I get everybody's information. Even if you do this, you're also eligible. We're going to do another one next week. So between now and next week, if you subscribe to the podcast, come back to our private group, and I'm going to make a post just talking about the podcast. And in that post, if you write, "I've subscribed to the podcast," I'll enter you in another one too. So even if you've done this one, if you don't win, you get another chance. The more people that do it, the more that we'll give away as well. So, I mean, the idea here is to get people involved. And we really want people to try the program. We want
try the food, right?
Yeah, to see the value of it and really to become part of this whole thing. I mean,
that's what Kim just said. She said you gave me one a year ago and she's part of it now. And it's like, I didn't remember that, but we gave her one a year ago and we did our giveaway. Maybe it was our giveaway show.
Grand opening,
right? It must have been. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, so she's the perfect example because she's one of our best members and posters, and we gave her a free one a year ago to get her involved. So that's what we're hoping for.
So if you again subscribe to the podcast between now and then, I have no way of seeing who subscribes. Unlike this, if you type this, I can go around to the platforms and check. I can't see who subscribes. It just gives us a total of subscribers. So you have to come into the private group. If you let's see, I have the private group here, I believe. So if you haven't joined the private group, here's the private group on Facebook. You can just go to groups and search for smartyplants.org and it'll pop right up. You'll see our logo, or it's actually that same picture of me and Judy which isn't a super flattering pic. Not that I have too many flattering pictures of myself, but it's really not a great flattering picture of me.
The one on the Facebook group? I thought you liked that one on my porch.
Okay, it's like I'm leaning back. I'm like, it was when we took it, we were like sitting on your front porch, like leaning back into that chair.
You like the podcast art? I like that one.
It's the same picture.
No, it's not. Is it? Maybe it is. I was just going to say we're in a field.
That's Photoshop.
That's Photoshop.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's the best picture of me, but it's okay. I'm in mid laugh. So are you. But so you can come back to the group and so join the group, come back, subscribe, come back and just type in "I've subscribed" and we'll add you into the next drawing as well. So we'll do another drawing next week, but I'll make a post in the group for that as well. So we'll give away some meal plans, your choice.
Okay, Kim said, "How do I subscribe?" Click the bookmark. Can you explain that one more time? How do I subscribe to the podcast? It's those.
Oh yeah, so there's a little here. I'll here. Let me get this.
Brittany Girardi would be awesome on your podcast. I don't know her story, but I know her food on Instagram, Kim. I've got to find out her story. Yeah, the Girardi family. Isn't it a whole family? I don't know the story. She's awesome. She's so cute. You guys are awesome. I feel like you're a distant family. Oh, Jolie, that's so sweet. And you both are fun to listen to. Good. I hope you don't get bored.
So if you're on the podcast, right up here, I know they changed it. It used to say subscribe, and I think there was a large button. Now, if you click the plus, it automatically does it. Or if you click these dots, it gives you some options to follow, share, and something else. I just saw it today because I hadn't been back for a little while. I haven't had time. But yeah, so either way, you can either click the plus or click the little 3 dots. And again, that's on Apple. So once we do the other ones, other podcast platforms, I'll go back and post those screenshots as well, so we know exactly how to do that. So right now, super easy. Subscribe, subscribe. Let's build up the subscribers, spread the word to other people so they know. I'm going to go on.
Wait, Kim said, will you be at the NHA conference? No, that's in Cleveland. Jane Esselstyn is going to be there. Oh my gosh, awesome. Have fun. I want to be going. That sounds awesome. You'll have to tell us about it. Share some of it with us. Another man present. Is that Frankie? Another man present, official taste tester of SmartyPlants here. Yep. He's my best eater.
I'll say.
Yay.
She's lucky that you have that. My wife's not a huge eater, so I usually end up, when there's 3 and 4 portion meals that we're making, I'm eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, leftovers myself. Jude's got Frank. Jude takes bites as she's cooking, and then she'll take a small bite during dinner, and then Frank will polish off 3 portions for dinner, which is awesome.
I love it. Yeah, but he's also has a critical palate. Like, he definitely gives me ideas, and he'll take a bite and close his eyes, and I'm like, I have the do. I'm like waiting. What is he gonna say? And then he'll be like, "It's awesome." Or he'll say, I think it may be that he gives me ideas, really, really good ones. So Frankie, I appreciate you. I love you, and I appreciate you.
All righty. So yeah, that's all we got for tonight. Just make sure you subscribe. Like I said, we'll put this together. We'll do the drawing. I'll make a post about the winners in the private group. If you haven't joined the private group, join the private group. We can always use support on any of the other platforms on Facebook and Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the channels. We do have Pinterest and Instagram as well. I didn't want to post too much. We broadcast just on those channels that I posted, but we have a lot going on each one. What I've been doing is I've been adding all the weekly meal plans on Flickr. Now, nobody follows me on Flickr, but it looks pretty awesome with all the food. You can scroll down and just see all the food. I was going to post the other day. I will, but
yay, we got our first subscriber. Kim and her husband subscribed. Woohoo! Thank you, Kim. Awesome. Yay. Yeah, so next Tuesday, we're going to be launching our very first episode. So tune in for that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be super exciting. So if you want another chance to win after this, if you're watching the replay, or if you're you're watching live and you want another chance, hit the subscribe. I'll make the post tomorrow, and then all I have to do is come in and say that I've subscribed, and we'll get you entered into the other contest as well.
All right,
cool. All right.
Susan subscribed. Yay, Susan. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. We appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here, and everyone have a great night.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll
see you in the group.